Okay, it's been a while, sorry about that. Let's make a graphic in Ventuz. It's a cool thing, the new version 6.7, which is really cool. It's got some really nice features. I'm gonna just make a simple graphic for now. Then I'll do something like a mobile phone. Let me minimize my OBS. So we need a few assets. So of course we'll need a mobile phone. So let's open up that. There we go. So I found this phone, this Galaxy S9, and I'm going to import this into Ventuz. So this is going to be this by Steven. You can follow him on Sketchfab if you want. There you go, Steven. So you can download this model. I'm going to download this as a GLTF. He has a ton of mobile phones, which is quite useful. Okay. So I'm just going to unzip this, and we're going to, here we go. So I'm going to place a folder on my desktop. And now, folder, phone. And drop that phone in there. There we go. So I'm going to grab this scene.gltf, drag it into Ventuz, into the hierarchy. We have the phone imported in. Now we're inside the phone. Let's make this smaller. There we go. I want to do a few tweaks to this phone. So I want so on this phone I want to do, you've seen like the Apple credit card where they have the credit card and then they show your balance, kind of hologram coming out the phone. I want to kind of do this and then maybe have some kind of chart. Maybe go along like start with this. So let's rotate this 90 degrees. Face on. Let's do some tweaks to the materials, because I'm going to delete this node here, this geometry import, because we already imported it in now. So this material here, for example, now is this? Let's check. Yes, this is it. So I'm going to edit this specular color to white. Also, I want to change the front facing camera. I haven't said the front of this material, so which one is this? So let's find this. Is it this? The bezel, there you go, bezel. And we can just reset all of these. There we go. Cool. So we got a phone. Nice. I'm not sure about the back. Sorry. And now is this the back? Oh. Maybe I should name this once I've kind of found it. I'll just call that front because I know that was the called bezel, and then I guess that's the back. Yeah. Back. At least I'll know those two, the front and the back. I'm gonna reset these as well. Oh, we want the specular. Reset that. There we go. Now you can tweak the roughness if you want. That looks a little bit better. A lot better actually. You can tweak around with these materials. Now I might strip some of this stuff out. You can decide to keep this in, but I want to keep the node count low because right now I'm using the community version, which is really cool, but you have to, I mean, we can reduce some of, now I'll leave it for now, and if we need to we can reduce the model, we can strip the model down, but no, that's looking good. Yeah, so we want to build a graphic around this whole phone. So this is a phone. And if you want to check your scene stats, you can see how many nodes you've used already. So I've hit 117. So I do think that's quite heavy. I guess because it's all these. I mean, I can see what happens. Let's just see what happens if I do delete these. Will it mess up position? Yeah. Okay, so maybe we'll get rid of some of these nulls. don't think it affects it, so let's just delete all of this, all of these, bam, bam, bam. We'll just lower our number of nodes we're using, cleaning it up. It's going to be a long tutorial, but hopefully create a nice graphic. Something simple can take a lot longer than you think. Whoops, I may have deleted my main node, no problem. There we go. Scale it up. Now we have one axis, a lot less nodes. Even I'm thinking, where's these front facing lenses here? Oh, what's this glass? Glass, we don't need that. Let's get rid of that. We don't need it. What's this? Again, don't need that. You just gotta be careful not deleting stuff on the back. We don't. Yeah, side buttons. Oh, that's the back face. That's the front face. The lens. Yeah, we keep that lens. Sensors. I guess that's on the back. Where's the front facing ones? Or are they built into the face? Let's see. Okay, that'll do. I guess that's just cleaned it up. Anyway, let's just name that phone. Now we go check our scene data. Now we are using a total of 37 nodes. So we came down from 100, what was that, 115 or something? I forgot. But to 37. So yeah, you can clean up the models. There you go. It still looks good. Okay. So let's start building some graphics around this. So the orientation is now different because we've removed all its axes, so it's 90 degrees now. Okay. I want to start with an axis, a circle. Right, let's scale this up. Place a hole in it. So let's apply a color to this. Go for like a blue color. We can 90. There we go. So on this I have like a thumbprint, so it's like recognition thing, and then you know all your data's coming out and your credit card. So we need to create a credit card in Photoshop or something. So we're going to create a few textures, but nothing too complicated. Let's use no light, so we have it solid. I want to just have a main axis with everything, so I can like rotate this as a whole group like this, so and I can position this how I want. There we go. Cool. So let's start with creating a few textures in Photoshop. Let's jump to Photoshop. And I got a canvas already ready. I'm doing 2048 by 2048, 2K. 2K, so 2048 by 2048. Let's create a thumbprint. So we need a thumbprint. So let's Google thumbprint images. This one looks nice. Oh, this one looks cool too. Share this one. I like this one. I'll use this one. Copy and go to Photoshop. Paste. Scale this up. Now I'm going to say Photoshop, select subject. Hopefully it knows. Nope. No problem. We can just say select similar. Control G. Yeah, we might have to like just clean it up a little bit. Let's fill in the blank spots. Doesn't need to be perfect. There we go, just painting in. Oh, don't do what I did. Okay, there we go. Hard brush might be better. There we go. Doesn't need to be perfect, don't worry too much. Just fingerprint. It's just a texture. But I just want to get rid of these little watermark that because I'm worried the texture. Bam. Zoom out. Got some here. There we go. There's no perfect fingerprint. No one's got a perfect one like this. But anyway, let's change the color to white. Turn the background off. I'm gonna save this as a PNG. I'm gonna save it on my desktop into the phone folder. I've got this thumbnail. Oh, sorry, not thumb. Thumbprint save. And here, I'll drag the thumbprint into Ventuz. Now I'm going to place a axis and rectangle. So I just drag the texture straight in from the folder. I'm going to change the light model to no light. Scale this up. Rotate it 90 degrees so it's flat on the ground. There we go. Now I want this to be the back because everything's sitting on top right now. There we go. And we'll add a blending effect to this so it blends in with other things. So let's add a circle and use this blue color that we got on the ring. Okay, and we'll scale this up again. Just to 90. Now we've got a plate for this. Like your iPhone, you know, it has a fingerprint reader, and it's a kind of fingerprint reader. Now you can go into blending and you can change that to like glow, or let's try screen wrap, and let's play with the opacity. See if anything happens. There you go. Kind of subtle, but it's not too much. I could have got one with more detail, so it looks less toony, but that'll do for now. I might change my mind and go back and edit it. There we go. Alright, so let's move this thing up. So this plate down. Now what I'll do actually is parent that to that, rotate this, change the scale. There we go. Just want it just to sit above. There we go. Now I can move those two together. Okay. Now I can do is duplicate this ring, make another one. So it's all parented to one. Oh, the Z. Just scale it out. And then we go for a gradient with this one. So we're going to add a texture base, loader, gradient for the blue. For now that'll do. We can tweak the colors after. But that looks pretty good. Maybe slightly darker, but just click on here, the little three dots. Something just to make it darker. There we go. Cool. I want to go back into Photoshop and create another texture, another ring, but with a drop shadow. So it's like, looks like we've got this drop down embedded into something else. So, but before we do that, actually, I'm gonna create a new 2D layer, gradient, place this as the background, and give give this, edit this gradient. Actually, just change it to the blue one. Now edit the gradient. I say go for this, yeah, darker blue. I say something like that, and then this one I'm gonna go for something like that. Okay, cool. Okay, so now let's build like a ring with a drop shadow and then just add some additional lines maybe, so we can reuse this canvas. I'll change this to black. There we go. Something like this. New layer. Right, I'm gonna fill this in. Oh. Control D. There we go. Make sure that's centered on the canvas. I like the new Photoshop bell. You know, kind of centers itself. Helps, all those guides help you. And I'm gonna add some additional lines. A new layer. Oh. On the normal marquee rectangle, please. There we go. Control T. Just little faint lines just to say this. Zoom in. Whoa, that's too small. Perhaps that's too thin. Yeah. Duplicate this line again. Sorry, taking a bit longer than I expected, but there we go. So I'll merge these three lines like that. Control J, and rotate this round. Something like this. Cool. Doesn't need to be perfect. Alright, I'll merge these two together. I'll just call this lines. So now I've got the lines there, so I'm going to change this back to white. Now this, I'm going to change the fill to 0. Add the inner shadow. Something like that. Let me duplicate this layer, so make it black. That'll do. So I don't want these lines to go in the circle, I want them just to be. So I'm just going to erase. That's like something like that, that's perfect. And I'll bring the opacity down a tiny bit on that. Now this is perfect, so if I turn these background layers off, this is what I want. Now perhaps I want to just make the shadow opacity a bit brighter, there we go. I'm gonna save this as a PNG. Actually, before I do that, I'm sorry, being a bit extra, but I'll say what happens if I add a bevel? Outer one. Okay, there we go. Let's save this. PNG. I'll just call this ring lines. Okay. And where I've got this circle, I'll just duplicate this, delete this, place a rectangle in its place. So I've still got the axes and everything's in the same position. And scale it up a little bit. It's going to be a lot bigger than this. Reset the color. Now the texture, we don't need this gradient, so we want base, but we want our own image loader, and we're going to load in that texture lines. Bam, there we go. Oh, sorry, my fault. Not base. We want, because it has an alpha, it should be base and alpha. There we go. Now let's scale this up until we get the ring and the lines. There we go. So we created like a fake depth just using texture, and then got this extra graphic. So we're creating fake depth. So you can create fake depth. You don't need to. It can still look like it's 3D, but it's not, which is nice. There we go. That's looking good. There's lots of ways to cheat depth. 3D depth. So that's a flat plane, but it looks like it's got depth, which is nice. Okay, I like the look of that so far. So, and you can give this a tint of blue, whatever you want. I'll go for something like that. I like that. I like it. Okay, so I'll just call that lines. That's the dark ring. Thumb plate. That's the print. I'll just name it. You can name items and your elements. Floating ring. So you know what everything is, just to make your life easier. What I might do is add another axis. This allows me to rotate it like this, and then this one I can rotate on the X. So I don't have to keep on doing like that and then that and then that. Just makes my life a little bit easier. Cool. So the floating ring, let's push this up a tiny bit. Now I might make this a torus instead of a normal circle. So torus, torus, and then change the tube size. There we go. Just add some more depth. Okay, so let's add like the credit card and then some little graphics with elements in there. So let's build this in another scene, maybe. Might be easier. So actually this first could do credit card. Credit card texture. Can be any, doesn't really matter. Nice one though. We want a nice one though. I like this one, where this is. It looks nice. Oh, this blue one looks good. We'll go for kind of blue theme. Where's this from? Let's copy it anyway. Copy. Let's go to Photoshop. Paste it into our canvas. Yeah, center that. See if Photoshop is smart enough to select subject this time. Yep. Bam. Turn off all those other layers that we had going. You know, image trim for this. PNG. Card. Yeah, save. So we have a fake Visa card image that we can use. Looks like it's coming out of the phone, so let's place that in. Let's use a rounded rectangle. Color. Actually, we don't even need to do the material. We can just drag the texture in from the folder. So I'm gonna click this, delete. Add to phone, card, drag it into Ventuz. Bam. Just set the inherit, the no light. Scale this up. Now you can change the proportions here, or you can change the proportions here, whatever you prefer. Now the round edges, you can play around with that, which is quite cool. That's why I chose the round edged cards. You want it more rounded. Okay, so let's look. We got this graphic coming out of the phone, like a hologram thing, you know. And then let's duplicate this. So it's behind. Get rid of that texture. We've got this white outline. So let's turn this to fill off. And where is it? And we're looking for. Yeah, I'll scale it. Scale this down. And bring the opacity down slightly. Cool. Now we could use a spreader if you want. Spreader on there. Something like this. It's hard to see, so if we just zoom in, and you can see got this kind of depth. Now you can play around with this, push this back closer to the phone perhaps, then push those out, and it looks like the card's kind of coming out the screen more. There you go. Now let's create some additional ones. So what we can do is actually just group these. Actually, I don't want to. I want to group them. I'll just call this card. And then just leave card lines. Okay. Duplicate the card. Drop down. Get rid of that texture. Change the Y. Let's change the opacity on that. There we go. Now we want to add some text. So, you know, like, so it's like, I spent, you know, £1 something at Starbucks, or £2 something at Tesco's, or whatever you want. So text 2D, block text, some color. Now I recommend is actually put the color on the main group, so you just have one for everything, like that. Actually, keep that separate, so all the text will have one text color. Bring this forward in Z so it doesn't clip. There we go. So you can say, you know, Starbucks coffee. And, you know, choose a nice font. I'm gonna go no light. That's a bit easier to see. Duplicate that font. Actually, I can make my life easier. Just have one string, and then just do cold latte or whatever. So that's one string, and then I just have another string. Let me close this text editor. And then this could be the costs, for example, maybe. Or this is how much is left in my account or something, I don't know. Minus, I don't know, 2556, whatever you want. You know, just make it up. I don't have a, for some bizarre reason, I don't have. Let's get this up a bit more. There we go. Right. I don't have a, I have a US keyboard for some bizarre reason. I've always had a US keyboard, which is bizarre, but there you go. So now I can change the opacity on that if you want. So you got that, and then it says, you know, slice 1. So now I've got 1. Duplicate this. Get down. Just bring it down a little bit more. Another one, slice 3. So I want them that look like they're stepping out one by one, and you can edit each of those fonts. For now I'm just going to leave it. Yeah, but there you go. Now if you want, you can play around with the opacity or the color and that. So maybe you want it, instead of white, you can have a tint darker. There you go. So it's a little bit easier to read, but you can play around with that. That's just, we're not really worried about readability. It's just a graphic. But there you go. Now on this one, let's add additional, say we want to flag something, or I don't know, you might want to have like, oh, warning fraud or something, I don't know. So let's get color, or a circle. You can have that little symbol, whatever. It can be green. Maybe that you get a bonus for using that store, or whatever you want. Whatever you want, you could, you know, just add little icons and stuff. And I'm starting to think whether that opacity is too much from there, but I think actually I like 78, so I might go back and just select all these. Just do them all the same. That looks kind of cool. I like the look of that. So you could animate these like popping out if you wanted, or whatever you wanted later. Let me borrow this text here. Reset that. Change this text to a minus symbol or plus symbol or something. Change this to center. Make it a little bit bigger. Make it forward in Z. Okay, got some kind of plus symbol. Perhaps this is too bright. There we go. Cool. And the same we could do, say another one, we could copy that, for example, let's copy that, and then on slice 1, you know, or perhaps this one just over here, I don't know. Cool. And then maybe we have a line or something, I don't know, you can do so many things. I don't know what I'm doing, but a rectangle. There we go. Something like this. Duplicate again. 90. Now we'll apply a color to this. Solid. Add a texture with alpha, and let's use, let's see what have we got. Let's use this plus. Okay, turn wrap on, UV mapping, and the clamp to wrap. Change the scaling. There we go. Now you got little dotted lines. There we go. And of course you can play around with the opacity on that, so it's not as strong. So just lower the opacity on there. There we go. Cool. Add some extra details. Maybe I want to add where's that slice? Slice one. Was it slice one I was doing? Yeah, slice one. So on this one we have that plus. I'm gonna just take that, move this up. Open the text box. Now how do you do an arrow, down arrow? Is there a down arrow? No, I don't see a down arrow. I can do this though. Or something. And then just close the text box, rotate this. Like this. You could have a mover and you can animate that point in that, you know, indicator or something. Texture base. I'm gonna add a gradient on this. There we go. Cool. Make sure I set that to the right. There we go. I'm tempted to do that. I'm gonna just do that mover. Copy that. It's just subtle. I'm not gonna animate too much on here. I don't want to be too long tutorial or video, should I say. It's just a video, and never tutorial. They're just like making stuff. So what we could do is actually get a camera. Bring a camera into our scene and do a orthogonal. See how it looks. Might have to change some of the settings, so definitely gotta change some of them. Whoa. Maybe I'll just scale it down. That looks cool. Or I don't know. Up to you really. It looks cool, but I prefer the 3D one. Now I might add some. The phone looks meh flat, so let's just add a little thing to the phone. So cube, render cube. Let's see what happens. Can I see anything happening on that? It's reflecting something. So let's go to the front. I wonder if I can create just a sphere. Bam. Color. I wonder if it will reflect in there. I don't know if this is the right way. I'm just trying something out now. Nice. Make sure I turn my two-sided solid. Oh, so now we've got the inside. Make sure that says don't light. Can you see the reflection on the yeah, you can. So it is applying to that, which is kind of cool. However, we don't see our gradient background because this is filling the space. What we could do is find blue wallpaper. Gradient wallpaper. Something like this might work. Nice. Oh. Save image. Okay, I'm gonna drop it in Ventuz. You can actually see it reflecting, but maybe the blues are too much, but still cool. It picks up the reflections. Probably not what I would like as a thing. I mean, the other ways, instead of using the render, you just add the material and then you use that like that to fake, instead of reflections, you just use a texture as a fake reflection. And just set that to UV mapping, world space reflection. There you go. Change the opacity on that. Yeah. Looks just as well. Just using the checkered texture. It looks nice. Last of all, let's finish this off. Let's finish this video with some post effects. Like I said, the glare. There you go. Maybe before I do that, let's see if I can get away with adding some particles. Where are they? Where are you, particles? Oh, I need to choose particles with system. So with a sprite, sorry. They're there. There they are. They're just hiding. The source. Can we do disc or ring? Let's do disc. This, that's a sphere. And the Z. There we go. Change the scale of those. They're really subtle. They're there. Oh, did I change? Oh. $25. Say 5, maybe 4, 3. I like 3. That looks good. Don't know if you can see it on the video, but if I zoom in a bit, we've got these kind of cool little particles. Just add that little bit of detail. And then, as I always do, I like to add the distortion barrel, full barrel effect. It might not work, it might work. Yeah, in this case it doesn't work. It does still look cool. With slight distortion there. We can have a slow. Yeah. If you want, you could have that slowly drifting or make it interactive. I mean, I could have another set of data on the back, set of photos, whatever you want. Let's check our scene data. Scene stats. Well, so our total nodes is 118, so we didn't even use that many nodes. It's pretty good, I'm impressed. Save as phone. There we go. I did notice that this is not a solid color. Yeah. Is it slice one? No light. There we go. And on slice one, I believe this had no material, that's why. And no light. There you go. That looks better. Hit save. I mean, this fingerprint, maybe I want to add more detail in that fingerprint. Can I get a different fingerprint? Fingerprint. Texture. Images. Or thumbprint. Is it thumbprint I done last time? Thumb. Can you type thumbprint, please? There you go, thumbprint. That looks actually a lot more interesting. Even this not good resolution. It's got more. I like that. I like that. I like that one too. I like them all. But these are stock ones. Hang on. Let me go to print. Oh, just do I all. No. I was hoping I could get something from this stock. I have access to this. Thumbprint. Oh, no. Oh, that fingerprint. Yeah, I could take that, but I'd have to extract it. That's a 3D thumbprint. I know this angle, no. Can I change the angle? No, let's see. I've never used this before. Oh, this is quite interesting. It's weird. It's just a texture on a plane. Well, hey, that'll do. Download this. In fact, we don't need lessons for that. There you go. You of course can get your texture from anywhere else. Google's. Let's drop it in here for now, and then I'll move it to where I need. The thumbprint was up here. Yeah, there's the thumbprint. Place it in there. Let's turn this one off. Let's scale this up. This looks a little bit more cooler. It's got a bit more detail. Might have to change like the blending mode to see if we get something screen, that. Glow. Yeah. So the glow's working. Multiply, no. Just gonna press all of them. And then we got dodge. I think I might have to Photoshop it, but I mean it's there, I can see it, it's not a problem. I can see it. Might be just it's there. Anyway, I like it. So let's call it an end. Send it here. I can keep on adding more graphics if I wanted. I was tempted to add the photos or some kind of graphing in there. But yeah, it's so easy and quick to build stuff in Ventuz now. And the tools are just, they keep on adding better tools every day. I mean, not every day, but you know, they're working on cool stuff all the time. The software is getting better every day. Every day. Fix that. There we go. Save. Cannot add a balloon on top. Make it a bit extra. Yeah. I kind of washed it out too much. You can take the amount down. I wonder what happens. I'm just gonna experiment now, so I'm just gonna try screen space ambient occlusion. Nah, not for this, because the planes. I mean, you can see that better there. No, oh, it's not bad. I mean, you can see the thumbprint now. Yeah, I'll leave it like that. But there's ambient occlusion, depth of field. We could have played around with depth of field, and we could have played. There's so many things we can do. And you can change that focus, that focal range, and blur the back, blur them out more. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it here before you know I get too carried away. Let's turn that off. There we go. Hopefully that'll some use. Yeah, just build simple graphics, you know. Enjoy the rest of the evening. I'm gonna say bye bye now.